Do you have any indication about where David is right now?
Guys was going past this one cell. So when he yanked the door open, they just throw the cups of boo-boo in there on him.
David's life inside a prison.
Wondering just what it was that a private investigator named Steve Fisher found inside David's home when he was given access last October. The PI reported seeing, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills. And today, we are learning about one of those items.
David's life behind bars just took a serious turn after new evidence dropped in court today, and the atmosphere inside that courtroom shifted fast. What prosecutors revealed did more than add details, it reshaped how everyone is looking at this case. One reaction online said, "Just want to say good luck to David going back to his cell block after this court hearing. Once inmates hear this stuff, he's gonna be cooked." That comment spread quickly, and people started saying prison politics could get real tense for him after this.
That surgery will probably give me mental problems. I already got them. Give me more. I'm trying to get electric this for him. I think that's the best way to go out, electric chair.
In court, prosecutors claim David bought supplies through Amazon and Postmates in an alleged attempt to hide Celeste. It was also stated that David allegedly removed Celeste's left ring and pinky finger because her finger had a tattoo of his name. Those fingers were never recovered. That detail alone made the room go quiet. The list of purchases is what really caught attention. Prosecutors say he used the fake name Victoria Mendez to order 2 chainsaws, a bag, heavy-duty laundry bags, and a blue inflatable pool from Amazon. On top of that,
how are defenders and treated in prison? They got treated bad. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even think nothing about that. I just know that it was like every 15 to 20 minutes that went past, guys was going past this one cell, and it'd be like, there's 3 of them. One of them would grab the cell door and then be on this side like this, and then the other 2 would be on this side. So the one, and they did this like every 20 to 30 minutes, every like clockwork. And this one would yank the door open, and the other 2 on this side had cups full of and boo-boo. So when he yanked the door open, they just throw the cups of boo-boo in there on him, and then close the door, lock it on him. You know, so that was crazy. But and then some was getting jumped on, some was getting slapped, extorted, some was getting having to do.
A shovel was ordered from Home Depot through Postmates. Then court records read, additionally on July 7th, 2025, defendant ordered and Amazon delivered a burn cage to his home under the same fake name as part of his plan to incinerate the evidence. That statement connected several dots at once. This answered a question that had been floating around for months after police originally found an incinerator at his home.
First of all, we suspected that David would be charged with murder after that was what he was arrested for, and in other court documents that came out a couple months ago, we know that he was being investigated for murder. But first-degree murder with special circumstances? Lying in wait to murdering a witness as part of an investigation? Murdering for financial gain, and now facing the possibility of the death penalty, even though it's my understanding there is a moratorium in California. That is a huge deal.
At the time, people wondered why he even had something like that. Prosecutors now allege it was part of a plan to destroy tools tied to the alleged attempt to hide Celeste, a private investigator shared in court. A private investigator reveals that an incinerator capable of burning at temperatures up to 1,600 degrees has been found inside of David's home. That level of heat can wipe out almost anything. The incinerator model in question is typically used on farms.
Saying that the Celeste girl, maybe she was already talking to the cops like, yeah, this creep is, you know, he on me. Now, granted, who knows if David was trying to leave her or whatever the case is, but look like she would also try to threaten David with that to say, yo, you know, I'm about to go tell on your, right? Which already you should know, he should have knew that he's doing something wrong. Well, I mean, he should have knew of GP, like she's gang. But she would, allegedly, according to this complaint, she had threatened that, yo, you know, I could I could ruin your music career or something like that.
In Los Angeles, owning one without the right permit or being tied to a registered farm is illegal. Prosecutors claim he had to fake a farm ID just to get it delivered, which made the situation look even more deliberate. Court filings also pointed to a past live stream where David allegedly spoke about how he wanted to go out. Investigators reportedly see that clip differently now, viewing it as something more serious in light of the new evidence. Because of these developments, jail officials have reportedly labeled David a higher risk inmate. His current conditions are tight. Reports state David's current jail situation is being held in a segregated single cell.
Know who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say but I don't know who exactly was in that house because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her? I don't know.
Escorted from his cell to shower, which he is allowed every other day, only allowed to make phone calls on the day that he showers, getting 3 hours of rec time with fresh air per week, no access to a TV, cannot have visitors at this time, reportedly has no money on his books. One law enforcement source described the jail facilities as dirty, smelly, and chaotic, saying the conditions are rough from the moment you walk in. That kind of environment is a hard adjustment for anyone, especially for someone like David. According to his arrest poster, he is listed at 5 feet 5 inches, 125 pounds. That build is considered small inside a place like this, and in major county jails, reputation and charges matter fast.
Hey guys, I know I haven't posted on this account in a little minute, but I just had some words to share with you for 2025. Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the pain and things like that, this year I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil. And it seems like it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025. Stay prayed up.
Inmates talk and paperwork spreads quickly. This setting is the complete opposite of the high-end lifestyle he was known for. There are no private drivers, no expensive dinners, no luxury views. Inside, everyone wears the same uniform, eats the same meals, and follows the same rules. The shift from comfort to concrete is serious. Food is another reality check. Jail records show that 6 days a week, inmates are served macaroni and beef dinner, 1 apple, 8 ounces of milk, and a peanut butter granola bar for dessert. That is a standard tray. It is not a high-protein meal plan, and it is not designed to build strength. It is basic, controlled, and repetitive. Reports say David has been transferred to the Men's Central Jail in LA County. He is reportedly being housed in solitary due to his public profile. Some people online believe that being known will protect him, but others...
Wait. Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big family. Oh, thank you. Mitchell.
I gotta stop with him if you even... We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
Strongly disagree. One viral reply said, even with David being placed in solitary confinement, he will still get his 1 to 3 hour rec time per day where the other EC inmates will confront him and deal with him due to the charges against him. There is no way of staying safe in there after committing the crimes that he did. That comment gained traction because it reflects how jail dynamics often work. A former inmate who previously stayed at the same facility explained that even if someone is locked down in a single cell, other inmates still move through the tier. They see you, they talk, they ask questions. You may not leave your cell freely, but your name and your charges do. In most jail units, once someone enters a compound, their paperwork is passed from cell to cell. Inmates review charges to decide how they feel about a new arrival. It is a system that runs on reputation and street rules.
basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego. And the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden. And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come of it. Like it was in the vault.
Prosecutors allege that David committed the crime using a sharp object. The charges listed against him are severe. According to reports highlighted by Jesse Weber of Law and Crime, he faces 1 count of an M charge for financial gain, an M charge to prevent testimony, an M charge by lying in wait, use of a strong object, and additional charges related to what prosecutors say happened to Celeste afterward. Those accusations carry serious weight inside any jail setting, and inmates pay attention to that paperwork. The most serious issue for David right now is that prosecutors believe the evidence already tells a clear story. Federal authorities announced that new material was recovered, including messages connected to Celeste. According to reports, days before she passed, Celeste allegedly told David she was going to report him to police. Investigators say there are text messages tied to that situation, and the developments even sparked a public reaction.
You know, transferring these assets in the middle of an investigation, as opposed to 2 years ago or a year ago.
Right.
Could a court look at this and say, this was a deliberate attempt to what you say, concealing assets, and they could breach it, they could pierce it, they could say, even though that you've transferred this into your mother's name, that was invalid. This is a way for, let's say, a plaintiff who sues him, or let's say in a criminal judgment to pay that fine. Can a court look at that and say, even though you transferred it, it's still open season on those property?
From DJ Academics, that added another layer of attention to an already intense case. David's family responded after he was denied bail, stating, "We are disappointed but not surprised that the district attorney made this decision. They have publicly stood behind him, saying they support him completely." But inside the courtroom, it was David's reaction that caught people off guard. According to courtroom observers, while the judge was listing off David's charges, the famous singer was seen with an open mouth as if he was surprised and or yelling, as the judge ended his statement by mentioning the chance of the penalty, which also surprised many inside of the courtroom. That moment reportedly shifted the energy in the room. The weight of the charges became very real. Then his legal team stepped in. In a formal statement, they said, "From David's defense at today's hearing, we believe the actual evidence will show David Burke did not commit the crime, nor was he the cause of her passing." They pushed for a preliminary hearing within 10 days as required by the state. They added, "If defense doesn't waive, we would like to be able to have all the evidence come to light at the earliest opportunity." During that exchange, observers noted another visible reaction from David. Reports stated,
Yeah, this is what's so puzzling about this. It is a very basic premise of law throughout the country that you can't transfer assets after the event happens that would otherwise trigger collecting on those assets. So we have rules in different states. Sometimes they're called fraudulent transfers. Sometimes they're called fraudulent conveyances. There's a lot of different names for them. But the crux of it is you cannot transfer assets.
David Burke reportedly appeared nervous with his eyes darting around. He entered a plea of not guilty. His attorneys are now requesting a full preliminary hearing and access to grand jury transcripts. His next scheduled court date is April 23rd, but one major question lingered at the end of the hearing. Why did it take so long for David to be arrested if authorities believed they had strong evidence? Investigators addressed that directly. According to reports, investigators revealed David's arrest took so long due to the feds having a wiretap across all of David's devices, sitting back and letting all of his slip-ups get collected. That statement suggests authorities were building a timeline carefully instead of rushing in. There's reportedly another factor as well. Sources claim investigators have also been looking closely at people in David's inner circle. Deals were allegedly secured with witnesses who are expected to testify about his relationship with Celeste. Prosecutors appear confident in the testimony they have lined up. One name that has surfaced in reports is Neil Langston, described as an alleged secret partner. It is unclear what role that individual may play in court, but sources suggest their testimony could become significant as the case moves forward. With federal evidence, digital records, witness deals, and courtroom reactions now all part of the public record, the case is moving into its next phase under intense scrutiny. David once posted on Instagram, "Thankfully, I'm legally fine in every way, and boy do I got all my receipts for things," trying to sound confident while rumors were building around him. Around the same time, old photos and Instagram videos resurfaced showing David and Nao recreating the famous Titanic pose while lying in bed together, along with other intimate looking moments.
Let me read you what Steve recently posted on X, okay? David's Tesla, the vehicle in which Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found, was held by LAPD for only 48 hours to process evidence. After that, it was returned to the impound lot for David to retrieve, which he had not done until today. The Tesla was scheduled to go to auction tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and I had planned to attend and inspect it. However, in the final hours before auction, David, or someone with power of attorney acting on his behalf, picked it up. When I checked last week, the storage fees were approximately $10,500, as the vehicle had been released and available for pickup since September 10th, before Celeste had been identified. I hope just the thought of that vehicle haunts David and anyone else that knew Celeste was in the trunk for the rest of their lives.
For a long time, Nao was described as the mystery man connected to the case, quietly sitting in the background while speculation grew louder. According to reports, federal investigators saw Neo as a key piece of the puzzle. Sources say it was important for them to get Neo cooperating for one major reason: what was discovered inside David's iCloud account. An investigator noted in court filings, the prosecutor replied saying there was 40 terabytes of discovery in this case, and it would take a while for them to get that to the defense team. 40 terabytes is massive. That reportedly includes messages between David and Celeste, messages between David and Neo, digital records, and alleged planning details connected to what prosecutors claim happened after the crime. That is not a small data dump. That is years of digital footprints laid out. There was also material that later surfaced online. Some of it reportedly came from David's iCloud, including a video that investigators are closely analyzing. In that clip, David appears to speak emotionally about multiple passings happening in his life. Investigators reportedly found something strange about that statement. Notes in the evidence file suggest there were no close family members or close friends who had passed away around the time the video was recorded. That raised questions about who he may have been referring to. Investigators also paid attention to the background of the video. They reportedly identified a specific picture frame visible behind David, saying it matched one located inside a separate rental property tied to him. That rental home is significant because authorities believe Celeste was staying there. Metadata from the video was also reviewed. According to reports, the recorded date lined up closely with the time frame investigators believed Celeste had already passed. That timing became a major focus for the prosecution's timeline. Federal authorities also presented details about David's relationship with Celeste before the alleged crime. At one point, he appeared to soft launch the relationship publicly during a Twitch live stream. Investigators highlighted that the sweater Celeste was wearing during that stream was later found inside the rental home linked to David. That discovery supported their belief that she had been living there. Then another detail surfaced. On David's iPhone, investigators reportedly found a photo of Celeste wearing a designer Rip-style hoodie. That hoodie was different from the one she wore on the live stream. The difference in clothing raised additional questions about timeline, location, and when certain images were taken. Between the iCloud records, the metadata, the rental property findings, and the alleged digital messages, prosecutors appear to be building their case heavily around electronic evidence. Each file, each timestamp, and each image is being examined closely as the case moves forward under intense public attention. Online users started connecting dots fast. One post read, "Saw this on Reddit. Is the hoodie circled not the one Celeste is wearing in that picture?" The image showed what appeared to be the same hoodie lying on the floor in a bedroom selfie David had taken. That detail led many to believe they were sharing more than just time together. People began questioning whether they also shared a bedroom and even clothing. As investigators continued reviewing photos and social media posts, they reportedly discovered that David and Celeste had worn the same Halloween costume at different times. That discovery pushed even more speculation online. Then another post surfaced that read, "David update, alleged photo of David wearing a similar wig to the one Celeste was wearing has surfaced online." The image reportedly showed David dressed in what looked like Celeste's Halloween outfit at an anime convention. Anime has long been described as a major part of David's identity. He has openly talked about wanting to feel like an anime character. At one point, he even explained that he created an alter ego who lives in a fantasy-style world. According to clips being circulated, David described imagining himself as a character who commits extremely serious crimes as part of that persona. That specific example raised eyebrows once people revisited it in light of the current allegations. Federal investigators reportedly took note of public reactions as well. One viral reply read, "There's hundreds of crimes that he could have used as an example when describing his alter ego, but he chooses to say that. I can't be the only one seeing how obvious this all is, right?" That comment reflected what many were already thinking. Critics say David's biggest issue was how public everything appeared. From social media posts to asset transfers, nothing seemed hidden for long. Reports state that while he was already under investigation, he began moving money and transferring assets out of his name. One source claimed, sources believe after David hired his new legal firm and transferred assets from out of his name, he's preparing for the police to close on him. Not long after those moves, he was arrested. Legal experts later explained that shifting assets during an investigation can draw even more scrutiny. Another move that raised questions involved a Tesla connected to Celeste. The vehicle had been sitting in an impound lot and was reportedly scheduled for auction after not being claimed. About 48 hours before that deadline, David hired someone to retrieve it. That decision sparked intense speculation. Some online observers questioned why he would go out of his way to reclaim the car under those circumstances. Others debated what the motive could have been. From clothing details to digital footprints, from alter ego statements to financial maneuvers, each layer has added more discussion to an already high-profile case. The story keeps unfolding, and every new development brings more debate. Now, I want to hear from you. After everything that has come out, what do you think about the evidence and the timeline? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone following the case. I will see you in the next one.